Welcome back to the void. It's Razzie as usual. I'm outside today, so let's see what kind of noise we pick up. But I have something I want to talk about. I want to talk about the single mind versus the relationship mind. As we get deeper into the void and I share more about myself, there's a lot I want to talk about. How my intuition has played such a big role in my relationships and how I got to where I am right now, right? And if you don't know, I am 31, pregnant, can give birth any day now, and I'm in a committed monogamous relationship. Why am I even bringing that up? Because previous to finding this relationship, there was a brief time where I wanted to give up the idea of monogamy. But that in itself is a whole other episode. I just want to talk about the single mind versus the relationship mind. So, what do I even mean by that? There is the individual and then there is the union. There's the coming together of two or more people. And when we are younger, I feel, depending on how we grew up, depending on how bonded our family was or not, we develop a lot of single or relationship-oriented values or lack of. And what I find in general is that the single mind, when we are not in a relationship and or not seeking one, or when we are even seeking one, but still coming from a place of complete individuality, as in, I am this person, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for, what can you do for me? Right? The single mind meets others and says, what are you offering? What are you bringing to the table? This is what I'm bringing to the table. This is what I can do. The single mind oftentimes comes from a place where you feel the need to defend or protect yourself. And it depends where you're at on that scale, right? Because you can be a hyper-independent person, which in some ways I believe I had a lot of hyper-independence displayed to me, especially growing up with a single immigrant mother. But the very interesting thing about my mom is that she's only been with one man, and she was legally married to him and never got a divorce and never entered another relationship, but has been separated from him for years and years and years. When I was younger, would try to take him back, and up until recently, she has finally detached more severely from that relationship. Still legally separated, but it wasn't until her last recent trip to Trinidad in December that she realized that he's the same man and he's never going to change. But throughout all of those years, my mom has been a severely hyper-independent woman, and she had the single mind, meaning I can take care of myself. I don't need anyone. I'll do it all. And right now, she turned 71 this year, right? Thank the divine. And she's pretty healthy, doesn't really have any severe health complications. She can do things still for herself. Of course, she can't do it all, right? I mean, there's a natural block when it comes to technology and certain advances that we've been making recently that she cannot do. So she needs help. She needs help from her daughters. She needs help. She needs to communicate, but she's never truly learned these things. When she was working 80 plus hours a week to hold down all of us, her daughters, and her house in New York, she was angry all of the time. Of course, she was playing a very masculine role and then had to come home and cook every single day and play a feminine role, quote unquote. Not that cooking is feminine, but saying that she was still a mother. But I didn't learn a lot of affection from her because she didn't have anything to give, because there was no one filling her cup, not a single person. She was barely close to any of her family members. She was the oldest of 10, and she left Trinidad first to, of course, pursue a better life, as all immigrants do. And granted, she accomplished everything that she wanted to accomplish. But there was a lack of nurturing and a lack of hugs. And maybe, yeah, it's just Caribbean parents. Y'all know if you got it, you know. It's this whole mentality of like, you take care of yourself. I give you a roof. I cook for you. Now you need to figure everything else out on your own because I can't do it all. And there's like a lack of hugs and I love yous. But of course it comes from this deep pain and trauma and the trust issues, the lack of vulnerability, the lack of a challenge. The single mind really doesn't allow you to become whole. How funny is that? Because we are coming from these generations of broken homes and broken parents, and most of us have not seen what a functional, healthy relationship looks like. It's hard for us to conceptualize marriage. It's hard for us to conceptualize compromise and sacrifice for another person. Because all we know is that person can abuse us, that person can cheat on us, that person can hurt us, they can leave us, they can abandon us. And while all those things may be true, and while some of those things may have happened to us already, when we stay within that frame and we meet another person and we are on the pursuit, because somewhere deep down we don't want to be alone, right? Now, going back to my mother, she is now retired, bought her own dream home here in Florida, and has the financials, but she's lonely. And that's, of course, what made her go back to visit my father in Trinidad. The hope that maybe he's learned, he's changed, he's come around, he's in his right mind. Maybe he can love her. You know, no matter how much she can project, I don't need anybody, I don't even need y'all help when I'm 90 because I'm gonna be fine. I'll be able to do my own thing. You know, we know that that's not completely true. And we can see and feel sad and feel sympathy and wish that for her at her age there was someone that she can relate to fully and spend her time with and talk to. But we know relationships take work. Now we're living in a time where everyone is trying to self-actualize. Everyone is trying to find themselves, and that is beautiful. But there's a reason why we have this empty space that I call the void within us. That is always going to be that way. Because we have to leave room. Because we cannot be fully whole ever. Not even in the relationship. But when we embrace the void, we're actually ready and more relationship minded. Because we accept a lot of things. We accept our imperfection. We leave space for someone to bring themselves. We leave something open for someone else. And this doesn't just have to be romantic relationships, right? This is many things. This is friendships, of course. This is companionship of any kind, really, with the divine, with spirituality, right? Even God, if you want to call it so. You have to have room for God. You have to have room for the divine. You cannot believe that you know it all. That you have perfected yourself somehow. And that you are fully healed. And that there is no room to compromise with someone, because that person, you know, when you're in your single mind, you're looking at them as every little thing that they do that you do not like, it kind of gets related to, well, you're not for me. I don't have to meet you anywhere because I already know what I do. Once again, for you, I know what I bring to the table, and if you don't fit in to my life, then you're useless, and I'd rather be alone because I could do it on my own. The relationship mind shows us that we don't know everything. That we may be on the pursuit for things, and that's beautiful, but that's only one side to the coin, because miracles can happen, because things can change, because we think we know exactly what we want, but sometimes we have no idea what's actually going to make us happy, what's actually going to bring fulfillment and a deep sense of belonging, you know, because once again, it's not about that state of happiness all the time. And being relationship minded, you understand that. Being single minded, you are on the pursuit to fulfill yourself and fulfill yourself alone. And so if anyone brings any turmoil to you, if they trigger you, you don't accept it. You automatically shun that. It's a closed off place to be honest. A relationship mind is an open space to be. And guess what? You can still be you as an individual in a relationship. This is where things get tricky, of course, right? And we probably need some master classes on that. But instead of going, this is what I do for you, so what are you going to do for me? It becomes, what can we do together? What do you need? Not just from me, but what do you need? What do I need? Where can we become? It's about the creation. And we know that, right? When two opposite forces come together, it creates some kind of third energy. And a lot of people are out here having kids by accident. A lot of people are still in their single mind even when they are married, because they're still in that mode of, if I don't look out for me, if I don't got my own back, then that's it. It'll be over. I'll die. It's a survival thing. If you want to get out of survival mode, if you want true abundance, which encompasses so many different aspects of life, community, fulfilling community, not the communities that, well, if you don't follow this guideline, whoever the leader of the community is, who's in a single mindset, then you don't belong here and you're ostracized. No, that's not what I mean. Community where when you're down, you can be down because you're not scared that someone's gonna kill you, hurt you, take from you, because the people around you will help heal you, will speak life into you and allow you to be down if you gotta be down. And when you're ready to be picked up, they'll pick you up. I hope that speaks levels, because the relationship mind is one where we accept each other fully for who exactly we are and exactly where we are in life. In the circumstance of life, you don't have to be a millionaire to be with me. If you are figuring it out, if you are still struggling, that's okay. I know my boundaries and what I can do for you and what I can't do for you. A lot of the single-minded people are the ones who say, I can help you, I can fix you. Why? Because it's really a selfish thought. Because if I mend you and I give you what I think you need, then you're gonna be what I need, right? It's like a grooming process. But when you're relationship minded, you actually always have a third energy, especially in the two, right? When we're talking about one-on-ones. Because at the end of the day, we have to connect one-on-one to create any kind of tribe. Any kind of tribe, whether it be a family that you create or, going back to the poly understanding, a multiple unit of people that are relating, whatever it is, right? A community, an actual community where people are living side by side and supporting one another. That third energy is the unknown. That third energy is knowing that I'll never be everything for somebody else. And that's okay. I'm not expecting someone to be everything for me. And that's okay. That's how marriages last. That's how commitments last. I'm not claiming that this is easy, especially in our times where we are purging all the pain of our ancestors and the people before us and what they've been through. But they left us gems too. We are building a new blueprint when it comes to relationships and understanding what it means to truly be healthy and not toxic, right? Because there's so much toxicity within all of the movements that are happening now, because it's an extreme opposite of what was playing out a decade ago, right? Of the forced marriage concept and no right to leave, and so you're subjected to these pains that people were not equipped with handling and working out. We're figuring out how to work it out, and we're figuring out ourselves. So give yourself some grace, of course, but understand deep down you're on the pursuit for someone. You get attracted to people because that's how opposites work. That's how the negative and positive polarity works, right? Within ourselves and then outside of ourselves. And that, I've said this forever, since high school. There's certain things you have to learn in isolation. There's certain things you have to learn on your own, being your own person, being your own self, detaching from the idea of complete codependency. Because codependency is not the relationship mind. That is not what I'm saying. I'm breaking that link. So yes, there's certain things that you only learn when you finally give yourself the credit to enjoy your own company and you know where you're at in that journey. But then there's certain things that when you actually commit to relationships with others, that you start to learn that you could have never learned on your own. There's certain triggers that you have to work through, and you have to be committed to someone to work through that trigger with them. Right? Because you can't just run away when something hurts. But that time of isolation shows you where you're doing too much and where someone is crossing your line, and how to stand up for yourself and advocate for yourself so that you can get the right effort from another human being. And you can at least identify it and speak on it. But once again, it ain't perfect. But anyway, all in all, it's the oneness that we are all searching for. The oneness with the void, not the separation of I am fulfilled, I am not fulfilled. The oneness of all life on the planet that we feel, that we know exist, that in those moments of magic and divine intervention, we understand and we feel how real it is, how impactful it is. And in those moments, there is nothing that separates us from the all. That's what we're looking for. And that's why we end up in relationships. But we have to detach from the single mind and go into this space where we understand that we are in relationship 24/7. We are in I am in relationship with the sun right now. I am sitting outside feeling the breeze and interacting with the crows. They're responding to my energy. I'm responding to the wind, to the beautiful palm tree that's in front of me blowing in the wind. The sun is warming my skin. It feels amazing. I am thankful. I am grateful for the relationship I have to nature, for the relationship I'm cultivating with all of you, with everyone who doesn't listen. I'm thankful for that. That's the relationship mind. So I want to leave that there, because that's a whole thought, a whole mouthful. And I can probably still ramble about it, but I won't. I don't even know how long I've been here. There's a body of work that I created and that I started to write in my early 20s, and I have yet to finish it because I am no master, but I'm learning, and it's about love. And I've made the first few pages available on my website, thecrystalmessenger.com, for only $3.33. just to get it out there, just for people to take a little glimpse into my mind. I have every intention to finish that body of work one day. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot I want to share about where I'm at in my relationship, where I'm at in terms of becoming a mother, and there's the guilt that I have that I've been carrying because of becoming a mom in terms of my relationship. And I want to speak on that, but I needed to get this out first. I think it's helpful. I hope it is. Leave me some feedback. You can leave me feedback on Anchor, on Instagram, anywhere. And if this brings up anything for you, please share. If this brings up follow-up questions, please ask. I'm here to serve at the end of the day, the all. And I need y'all. And I have so much love, infinite love. And yet again, I am grateful. I am super grateful to be able to share my voice and in return be a part of a larger community and just be here fully. So until next time, thanks for entering the void. Peace to all.